It's just so funny.
AG Weekly number 81, brought to you by Haste, provides
I
this
don't know how
$1 prize pack
they
every
didn't
single week.
decide to do
Big shout
anything.
out to them, but we're switching sides again here. No Anime
Just
Loud on
actually
defense.
stood around and
Here's
just waited.
underway. Hollywood for the first time tonight. It's getting late. Man, imagine if we actually had a round of 32 this week. It would be, whew.
Over to their main picks. I mean, it seems like everybody's just mostly going for the same Genji or something like that.
Forward here.
Certainly going to be plausible for him to do that, but Hanzo is still okay. I think he's going to swap to a Genji, though, and that is going to be the case. So they're going to look to be very aggressive, diving into Cafe, looking not really to take down
Hey,
Sugar Free,
look,
but
Sugar
certainly
is
put some
playing
pressure
Soldier,
on the
dude.
paintbrush especially, as that's going to be an easy kill for them to get if they're able to
He isn't
find
playing Genji on Cafe.
All or nothing. This is it for first place. Can and no anime allowed here find their first AG tournament victory ever? I think it would be. Quick prediction. Who's got it right now?
Kungarna.
Kungarna. Hurix is going with Kungarna. I'm going to take no anime allowed on this
Oh,
one.
we
And maybe
sustained
not
that
for a
Cafe
hot
real,
start. Vita Coco
real well.
to be taken down. Kungarna, of course, not opting very often to go
Give
in
them a
first.
tick, but
Karkar
that's
likes to play
that's
that
honestly
Lucio,
fine if
very
we win
skill
this
heavy,
fight.
but this time around, not going to have the mercy. So they're going to be shut down for their first attempt. They actually did get a tick, so that's a good start nonetheless.
Yeah, they were able to get it up to 35.3. So now going into this next push, yeah, you still have an opportunity here because Paintbrush isn't close enough to
I'm fine
that
with giving up a tick. If
Transcendence.
we
But
get the
for Michael
kills
Myers
on
this
their
time,
tanks that initially dove
that
us in
first one is going to
Cafe, and
be
then
very, very
we're able to
difficult all of a
recontest,
sudden because
then
that
it's
Transcendence going to be
fine.
online when you dive in. They're going to have that easy ability to counter dive. It's going to be kind of tough to turn that one back around.
Hobbs is looking to get back around the cafe, though, so maybe see if he can find one off guard. They're going to jump up top. They actually force
I
Zenyatta
think
out of
Plug just
position here.
straight up
Hobbs looking to
blocked
force
like both
bomb
their
out.
tanks from
They're going to
actually
find
jumping
Nova.
up.
Rampant Rhino is solo. He's going to get dropped, but a Valkyrie going to keep them in this fight for the time being.
Yeah, we're
Here,
just
that is
farming
it
them. And
for
Apply
Plug.
is going to the moon.
Self-destruct finds Apply. It's going to shut him down for the time being. Going to force him all the way back here. It's already 90 seconds off the board. And no anime allowed, looking really good right now here. I mean, a tick on the board,
Well, we only
pretty
used
good
2
for
ults,
Kungarna,
and
but
we've held them for 2 minutes.
again, so many weird things have happened throughout this set in terms of like last second, attempts to grab the checkpoint. Anything can happen at this point.
Paintbrush pretty much ready to go
Ooh,
with
that
that
was spooky.
Transcendence. If anybody dies him, he's going to have that
Could have died
available
from that
just by getting
deflect.
off a little bit of damage.
I don't
As
like that they're peeking
Paintbrush is
Michael
just
right now. Like, they want to
right
put
there
pressure
on
on him,
point, but they
but
have to wait now for Michael to get his
they probably should have killed him because they
Matrix
didn't
back
have a
online.
res
He
on their
does have
side.
that self-destruct available as he gets it back up, but still, their next dive is going to be very, very difficult to pull off as that Transcendence is going to be available on both sides.
They're jumping up here, but yeah, they're just going to trance it.
The support over to Apply with the Dragon Blade here. Still no kills on the board. Thanks to the
Oh,
Transcendence.
Kungarna committed so much for nothing. 4 ults for no kills.
But Vita Coco also off the board. This is looking good for the side of Kungarna. Primal Rage from Rampant Rhino might be able to keep him alive, but no kills really coming in their favor right now.
We should have regrouped though. Like, we got way too split up here. Like, we used our ults, but then we ended up like having our DPS like closer to the point, and we had our monkey like primaling someone, but
A great composure there from Kungarna. They're going to be able to take
like
it.
our ults were really good at like denying them in position, but then we just needed to regroup.
Already back up to 54% towards the next. Why? Oh, he's actually going to swap over to the Mercy instead. I wonder what the reasoning is behind that, as they looked really good with the Lucio, actually. Just getting Vita Coco into position much more easily, was able to switch targets much faster rate, but still, that Mercy is incredibly strong.
We were really slow to take this high ground too, so we just get booped off.
Vita Coco.
He gets killed, but
again to get the fight started here. It's kind of unexpected, given he was, a reason for their victory on Numbani.
yeah, I don't know. That was weird. Like, we didn't have the high ground. We were taking it super late. But their monkey just killed himself. Like, he straight up just stood in front of like our whole team and didn't actually like. He booped us off, but then he kind of just stood there and got killed.
Most notably Apply with the Dragon Blade, who has been so dominant on it throughout this game, needs to be able to find forwards, needs to be able to find Sugar Free up top.
Definitely looking for some value out of that blade, and I mean, forwards right now has been known to be a little aggressively positioned, so maybe Apply can look for that beam. You see it right now up on that high ground and go directly for it. You see the shift ready to go for forwards. If you pull that out, which it is,
That was a good primal, knocking us all off.
kill very rapidly, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case.
Seemed to just be sustaining though, where we just traded, but Rampant didn't have to use his ult.
Now we're going to see it come out from Paintbrush. Not quite able to save the day for the plug and his mech of the Diva, but full spawn out now from the side of Hobbs, not able to find anything for himself either. That would look like it was Tekka. Dragon Blade though from a fly.
What the fuck was that blade, dude? Like, maybe if he had gotten the Mercy, like, that would have been okay, but as you see the Valk up in the air, like, it's a wasted blade. You can't end up chasing it.
Push it back again here. Looking very good on defense.
That was Kungarna's poor use of ult.
From Karkar, they still just
They used
get
four
down and suffocated almost.
and didn't get anything off of it.
Is going to be swapping
3,
over to the soldier, which
4, 5.
I'm not sure. I mean, they have to be able to get onto that
Something
high
like that.
ground. They have to be able to contest it, throw them off of it, and get apply up there for him to really be valuable.
Like, we're probably gonna get zoned off the high ground again by, like, Diva Bomb, but
So far. We'll have to see how it goes
they
from them.
don't really have any other tools to finish us off if we drop.
Round versus up on that high ground.
We'll find a way to contest that one, of course. Michael has done a pretty good
Ooh,
job.
Pain almost dies there. I was super close.
Has dropped multiple times to get the fight started. He might actually do it again. Yes, the tactical visor too much. Michael tries to take him out from the high ground with the use of his self-destruct.
Yeah, we're doing a good job of, like, splitting them up.
So again, this is no anime allowed.
Like, they're getting picks and then getting too greedy. Like, we can rewatch that fight and see where their positions end up being. Like, their tanks end up contesting ours, and, like, we actually get a kill because Apply is, like, landing shots.
On the ground versus
So Rampant's doing a good job just, like, dropping to the cart, stalling. Plug, Rampant, drop together. Like, Karkar's getting shot, though, so he has to, like, he just has to get out of there. But you can see we force the Mercy back, and then their tanks are super low. So their tanks have to play more safe. But you can see, okay, so we've traded Paintbrush, and so they probably think like it's a one fight, but if they aren't paying attention to their health bars, Michael and Vita are basically dead. And so Sugar just drops with the tac visor, and then they just all start dropping immediately after. So we took poke damage on like one person and died, but their damage was more spread out because we zoned the Mercy where she couldn't be healing the tanks.
Not going to quite have a whole lot moving into the next one, but forwards coming up on a Valkyrie could be very important for potentially what could be a final fight with 40 seconds to go.
You said 40 seconds. We need a pause, it looks like. Right at Coco calling for it. Really sure what happened.
That's for pause. I think it's just a really short one.
Game froze.
Yeah.
Well, it happens. It happens.
How was he able to type?
Well, maybe his game unfroze here. Who knows? One of the great mysteries of the world. Anyhow, Kyrix, we're down to 25 seconds to go. A couple things in the pipeline for the side of Kungarna. What do they need to do to find a way to get the second checkpoint locked down?
They have to get those guys off the high ground. They're just safely seated up there. Sugar Free especially has been a huge...
We kind of let them get high ground here for free, but Michael was playing so far on the open, he just loses his suit before any fights even started, and they try to like trance to save him, but
Coco just can't get in there with Michael taking way too much pressure and not having his mech more often.
you can see how split this fight is. Like, they ended up just like, I think, panicking, wanting to dive Sugar Free, so Michael ends up doing that by himself, while Apply and Vita try to like take the lift on the side, but he loses his suit. Crimzo tries to keep his suit alive, he ends up trancing, he's out of position. Karkar is off on his own. I think he probably like lost his beam target and was just walking around. Like, you can see just how split their offense was. Fucking hiccups from nothing.
Out and I don't out that second phase of the map.
Skip to the winning round. Spoilers intended.
Just after that, usually you don't really see holds in the middle of Hollywood, like in the middle part of that second checkpoint. So a very strange place to actually stop. So I honestly, I feel like it's first point hold or nothing here for Kungarna.
They've gotten close a couple of times, but just haven't been able to close it out. Now we'll have to see if they can make it work this time around. Same thing is the case here for this one, as we do see the same setup on both sides as teams have swapped, but it really just mirrors.
See our dive here on the high ground.
Compositions. Now they're going to try to get very aggressive here as Rampant Rhino just jumps right in. Everybody taking a lot of damage. Karkar almost falling out.
I would have liked to have seen Tekka be behind here, because they all end up like walking out of the cafe, like shooting them in the back.
of a battle of can the defense retreat in time? Can they save their carries and their supports? But it seems like
Or we
this
commit more
time
to getting
they
the,
did
the
just
tick
that.
here and we
Good
just fight the
start
people
here
on
in
the
the
point
left lane.
after the initial
Exactly what you want to
pushback.
see if you're a Kungarna fan. Definitely want to
We
head
ended up
off
not
to
really
a hot
doing
start.
anything
Right
where
now,
we have
Hobbs
some
ready
people
to go.
contesting the
Up
point,
and
but
ready.
we
We'll see if
also like
Hobbs can
committed too
pull
hard on
out
the
this one ready
cafe,
to go. Open up maybe with a
where
club
would have
push
liked
or
to have seen
a
us like
quick
commit to
strike. Starting to put yourself
one
in the
or the
bag
other,
if
where
you're
we
Kungarna
commit
right off the bat.
everyone
And
basically to the
we
cafe
talked a
and we
little
have
bit
Tracer flanking,
before how
and then have the
jumping
two or
into a
three people
Zenyatta,
like jump on
you know,
top of
you
the
don't want to
cafe and
give
try to
him up
clean
too
kills
much ulta advantage
instead of
when he
having
has
a
that
split like
percentage on your
on the
next
point
push
and
in.
then
But
trying to
look
kill
at
the people in
Crimzo.
cafe.
Already has one available almost. He's at 86%, has been landing out crazy amounts of damage, has taken Paintbrush out again in that last fight. So he has
Look at that
Transcendence available
spamming.
already. So if they push in, if he gets low, or if they need it, they can do this. But Rampant Rhino already taken out. So is Sugar Free. He doesn't need to pull it out at all anymore.
Ooh. Well, they actually go ahead and pop the Valkyrie. Forwards only manages to grab one before he's taken down. Actually interrupted
Yeah,
there
I
by
really don't
Forwards
like that. We use the
as he
Velk and then
dropped.
just get killed because the
Regardless, they
people are
show
like
a lot
really
in this
aggressive in the
fight. Getting
cafe.
down a couple of guys here,
So
and
they can just
maybe
shoot
just
us as
trying
soon
to
as we're trying to
force
fly
the
in, go for the
issue,
res.
see if they can get something with the Valkyrie, but very risky
I think
play
they overused though.
from
Like they ended up
Forwards
using
to do
4
that.
ults
And the
for
Valkyrie
our
was able
one
to grab
Valk.
two
I guess we
put
used
them
Velk.
in a
Oh,
really
we
bad
used
position
Velk
to
Pulse
actually
Bomb and
die.
then
Down
Diva
to
Bomb, but
210 here. Still a chance with Paintbrush coming up on the Transcendence and Sugar Free about ready to go with the Dragon Blade. See if he can find a ply in the back.
I think they were overly liberal with their ults here, and they're going to pay for it. Crimzo not having that
yeah.
Transcendence, they're going to
Although
lose.
because they had used the
Car
double support
Car,
ults there,
there's
the
a
Mercy
big
falls,
pickup for
Mercy
Sugar
falling
Free
is
with
like a
that
huge
dot.
deal.
Visor up
Plug
top,
with the
found the
MVP
Ply,
play,
trying to
dude.
find something, but the Plug, great positioning to keep him pushed back. Tekka comes around the corner, finds
There we
the
go.
kill for
Tekka's
himself as
behind,
well. On the
finally,
point,
and is actually able to just
Rhino
clean up the kills, because I
running
think they're so
rampant as
pressured
he's
there
going
and they're
down the
taking a
lane.
lot of
You can
damage. He
see
should have been
here
behind them
he's
more
a little
often.
alone now. He is not in a good spot, but Sugar Free's back. Paintbrush coming through with some support. And Hurix, they're going to be forced back again. 90 seconds to go. Kungarna looking like they might have a chance to win this game.
I would be very surprised if they still keep this one out. I mean, it's a very difficult hold to make
I like that push from us, though. I think it was
against this
better
PPL
than
out team. But a
the other
miss.
ones we had.
Oh, that was a miss jump coming out from Rampant Rhino. That's a big mistake that they're going to be able to exploit
That's
and
a
take
feels bad,
advantage of.
man.
They're punishing him.
I can't remember if
Unfortunately,
Rampant gets
Kungarna
booped
don't
there or if
allow
Michael
it
hits him or what.
actually because of that. But the big thing here is, again,
Michael
that
hits him or if he
Transcendence,
botches the jump.
the really pivotal factor of this push, especially in the last fight, given just how close quarters everything can be. That's a huge advantage to have. If
But that
Paintbrush
push where they
goes
didn't
over
have any
face, Crimson
ults, like
coming up
support
behind it,
ults, we
you know,
definitely probably
I think a little bit
should
of
have
an
won that
advantage
a
to
bit
Kungarna
harder.
as the aggression's going to favor Kungarna to be able to
Missed it
counter
again,
that.
man. He got displaced as he tried to get up top.
We
He found
zoned
the
4 people
positioning.
back there, though. That was like a
Passing it now.
huge deal. We
60
zoned
seconds
4
to go.
people
Now
into
Valkyrie on
like
the payload from Michael
the
down low.
Oh,
cafe, and
wow.
it ended up
And
being that
Kungarna
like we could
is out of the
just
picture.
melt
This
the,
could be
the
what no
tanks on the
anime
point,
allowed
like
needs to do.
6v2
Things
after
going
that.
for themselves. Apply, one of the big damage dealers, is no longer with the team here, and that's going to be checkpoint A confirmed. They're going to get another 230, and no anime allowed. Just turn this game completely around in their favor with 230. That's going to be added to the clock here.
So now the question becomes, are they going to be able to deal with the high ground? Now, Apply is going to have plenty of time to go ahead and get up into that same position that we saw Sugar Free in, you know, just moments ago. But they have the Genji this time. They have the ability to go out there, be aggressive, push these guys off the high ground, or at least, you know, really kind of contest them to a huge degree, put some pressure onto forwards, onto Car rather. And, you know, if they can do that, they can actually get a lot
They don't have a
of
lot of room here, Kungarna. They really have to
distance
contest
covered by this
early
payload.
and like actually get some time out of the clock, so they have to take a quick fight.
The high ground contest
But we did like
immediately.
a
Crimzo
super good
Apply
job of
taken
actually
down.
like insta-killing
Got the
Crimzo and
Valkyrie
Apply
to get
there.
them both back up, though. Here
Like
but
we actually
doesn't
dove
need
like 3
actually
people on top of
reload.
them instantly
Numbers
because they
eventually
were
fall
holding
to
too
side,
close.
and no anime allowed. With that in mind, Karkar might have just saved the day. Both the Winstons out of the picture, and that Valkyrie coming up clutch for the side of Kungarna, who still have an opportunity. 150 to go.
Even though we lose the fight, I think that was like
No anime allowed is here.
beautifully executed. Insta-killing Soldier and
Putting in some pressure to make sure that
Zen.
they're maintained. Sugar
And
Free
I
with
don't
the blade,
think we
though.
used anything for it.
And
Plug has
so
to
far,
resuit
we
his
know that Sugar Free is
resuit, so he uses his
incredibly
ult charge, but I
consistent
mean
with
besides that we didn't really use
easily
anything.
finding one or two
And they
kills.
had to use Valk to get the double
Rhino
res, otherwise
as
it was
well.
basically going to be a free win for us.
Big one here is going to be Apply, and he already got off a good start, putting Apply down to about half his health. Still has that blade available. Does have to deal with the attack visor that Apply just pulled out, so he can't pull it out yet.
We did so good about
Looking
LOSing
for him
this.
to back off this one. A little
The
bit of
trigger
a
almost dies,
jungle,
the
I
forward
guess you
almost
could
dies,
say,
but
and with
we
great
line of
shot
sight the
picture, Karkar
visor, and then we
taken
come in,
down
and then
by the
Tekka is
Valkyrie.
just making
Who's got the
plays,
blade up top
kills
of
both the
Apply? Gonna be
supports.
taken down. Transcendence cannot save Hobbs. And as it's going to be all sugar-free and a big opening play coming through from the side of
This
Tenma.
is prime
Moves
Overwatch right
early here
here.
to try to get back
We
in
did
the
so
game. This
well.
time, it's Michael, it's Vitacoco with the primal
Contesting
ready.
Soldier when we
Looking
needed
for the
to,
last
line of
little
sighting
nugget
his
here while
visor,
Yurks. There's too many
getting the
players
correct
going here.
flanks and
Back in the mix.
prioritizing their
Yurks
supports when they
finds a
are
pick
on
on
the
it.
ground
No
rather than
anime
being up top.
allowed. In just a matter of moments here, Apply comes back in,
Blading
stricken
after when they
down.
don't have trance to
He's in
protect
the
us, like,
area. He's not going to be lasting, man. I
this
think
is
they've taken their
quality.
first AG.
And what a way to do it, too, against a name like Kungarna. They've been struggling to find these finals wins for
We
the
did
last
really good.
couple of
Those
weeks
first two
here.
maps were
And
really sloppy from both sides, but I
finally
think we are more
getting it
refined on
against
this, where
a
we
powerhouse
actually
like
had, like, our
Kungarna.
last few pushes were
Being
really, really
slow,
good.
and
We
Kungarna
did a
is one
lot
of
of
those
things right.
rosters that I think that we'll be seeing for a
Where
couple
the
years to
casters were,
come.
like, calling out mistakes, like the Tracer Bomb wasn't getting as much value, like, behind the cafe, but I mean, we ended up using a bomb, and then it ended up zoning 4 people from a fight so we could focus the tanks 6v2, and then that caused us to, like, hyper win that fight, which snowballed into us having more ults for our next push, and they had to use Valk, and yeah, it just gave us, like, a huge advantage of ults, like, with some of their plays that we were making. Like, our Dragon Blade's also gotten, like, increasingly better throughout the series. So yeah, it was overall, like, pretty good. Pretty proud of the guys in our one trial. Win our first AG. We've gotten so close. We've gotten second, I think, like